Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Rebecca, and today we are going to talk about the wall, the dreaded wall. And we are going to look at an article entitled Women Should Never Fear Hitting the Wall. And this is written by Sharon Alger. She is a proclaimed feminist. So we are going to get the feminist perspective of hitting the wall. But before we jump into this video, guys, please hit that like button to help me in the algorithm. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I would love to have you subscribe. I'm on the road to 100,000 subscribers, and I'd love to have you here on my channel. So with that all being said, let's get into this article. All right. So we have Sharon Alger, who writes, Women should never fear hitting the wall. She writes about feminism, humor, opinion pieces, and whatever else. So, to give you a synopsis of the first couple of paragraphs, she's basically explaining the manosphere's version of hitting the wall. So she says, society teaches women to fear the passage of time. One day they warn young women, you will grow old, you will age, gain weight, and your boobs will drop, and wrinkles will take over your face. This is the wall. And depending on who you speak to, the age of woman reaches, it varies. Different men say the age is 25, 30, or 40. She talks about MGTOW and incels and the manosphere trope and all this other stuff. So we're going to get down to the meat of this article. She says, why does this theory persist? One word, rejection. What we're dealing with is a bunch of guys with hurt feelings because a woman or women dared to turn down their advances. If a guy lacks the maturity to take the rejection, the wall becomes a comforting revenge fantasy. Yeah, you think you're hot screwing all those chads? Just wait until you hit the wall, biatch. You'll be ready to settle down, but no one will have you. You'll have ugly wrinkles by then. In the meantime, I'm going to be a rich silver fox, and 20-year-old women everywhere won't be able to keep their hands off me. When you'll come crawling back to me, I'll laugh, nay, spit in your face. Do you remember being in kindergarten? The kid who said his dad was going to beat up your dad? This is the version of angry, rejected men. So obviously, you can tell that she has a bias here, and that's okay. She proclaims that she's a feminist, and so she's going to look at this, the wall, from the feminist mindset and the feminist lens. And she, of course, is going to say that the reason the wall exists is because of rejection. This is actually the furthest thing from the truth. The fact and the reality is that the wall has always been there. It's been called different things over the years, but ever since the dawn of time, women's value decreases with age. And I'm not saying human value, everyone has the same human value. However, if a man is looking to marry this woman and have babies with this woman, then if she is out of her fertility window, then he is not going to consider her. And if she wants to be with a man who wants a fertile woman, then obviously that's not going to work out. And a majority of men want young, fertile women. This is not anything new. So that is why women talk about the wall and say that it's a bunch of crap and it's a bunch of men being angry at women because they don't want to live in reality. They want the delusion of, oh no, I can push my fertility back. I can do whatever I want in the early years of my life. I don't have to worry about these things. I'll worry about fertility when I hit my 30s. And for a lot of women, by the time they hit 30, they don't have any more eggs, or their egg quality has reduced to a shockingly low level. It's important for every woman to understand their fertility, right? And for a man who wants a family, fertility is a huge component of that. And women, unfortunately, due to biology, we can't extend our fertility to our mid 40s, early 50s. You have those one off situations. And when that actually happens, of course, there's articles written about it because that minority, that small group of women that can get pregnant in their maybe early to mid 40s, right? They're used as the rule and not the exception to the rule. Well, we'll continue because I have a lot more to say about this article. Okay, so she says, why do some women fear aging then? I don't think it's some women. I think it's a lot of women. I think it's the majority of women fear aging. Because if the majority of women didn't fear aging, then we wouldn't have plastic surgery rates the way that we see them today. And the majority of patients that are getting plastic surgery are women. And if it's not plastic surgery, it's Botox and filler and Juvederm and mini facelifts and all of these different things, right? These non invasive procedures that we see happening. So, aging is a real thing for women. And it's not some women fear aging, a lot of women fear aging. She says society teaches us our true worth exists in our beauty and ability to procreate. We're realizing we have much more going for us. We have ambition, interests, and opinions, and a variety of wants and needs between us, individual personalities, even. Crazy, huh? No one's arguing against that. No one's arguing against the fact that women are ambitious and that they have different interests and wants and needs and desires. But our value to a man, if that is our end goal, is to be married and have children, is our beauty and the ability to procreate. Women who want children need to consider the expiry date on their fertility. I'm glad she said that. This doesn't mean that we're forced to drop our standards. I've always wanted kids. When I was ready to have them, I raised my standards instead of lowering them. After having my first child, I had genuine problems with my fertility. I never wish during that stage that I tried to have kids sooner. I never regretted rejecting the guys from my youth. Sure, I could have had my kids earlier without a struggle if I had dated them instead, but I'd have been miserable with the wrong partner, wouldn't I? Oh, and another thing, I wasn't interested in the sluggish sperm of a silver fox to conceive my babies. Okay, so she's basically saying that she had a kid and that she had fertility problems after her first kid. So, of course, she was trying to have a second child. But of course, she doesn't regret it. If she was actually okay with not having another child, she wouldn't have to justify it in the paragraph below that. Okay, let's jump down here. She says, confession. I passed the wall a long time ago. Oh, you don't say. I'm 47. She's 47, y'all. Okay. So I'm in an excellent position to ease any fears around getting old. My appearance shows evidence of aging. I do indeed have some wrinkles when I notice them. Guess what's running through my mind? Hint, I'm not thinking, oh my God, I wish I had dated the dude who interrupted me walking my puppy at 19. Why did I reject him? He sure got the last laugh, though. Look at my face. Nor do I muse. I can't forget the guy who yelled, Tits Anya, Anya. Wanna dance? I underestimated what a catch he was. Sigh. Well, I can't go back. I bet he is entertaining a hot 21 supermodel on a yacht right now. Random memory of my prospective suitor from the past. Damn, I dodged a bullet with him. Male attention has waned since growing older, but I interpret that as a reward of old age. How wonderful to move from point A to point B without interruption. Well, most of the time. Sometimes we oldies let our guards down and we're back at square one. Plenty of manosphere types point out that if we still get attention from men, if it won't be for the guys we want. Here's your wake up call, buddy. Most of them never were. Okay, so she's 47. She's saying to you guys that male attention has waned since getting older. And I don't know if this woman is married or not, but if you're married and the male attention has waned over time, that's perfectly fine if your husband is still attracted to you. If your husband is not attracted to you and the male attention has gone away, that's a huge problem. If you're not married by the age of 47 and male attention has gone away, that's a huge problem. Huge. We as humans crave intimacy with other humans. That's a part of us, that's intrinsic to us. And that is why women in their late 40s, 50s, 60s that are unmarried get dogs and cats because they fill that gap of not having a spouse or not having someone to be intimate with. That's why they do it, because it fills that gap a little bit. It doesn't completely fill the gap because you still see those same women wanting and desiring male attention. Look at Madonna, look at ex supermodels that still post thought pics on Instagram. Look at Britney Spears. These are great examples of older women that are craving that male attention but not receiving that male attention. And if they are, it's definitely not as much as they used to. Let's finish this off. What's better than threatening women with an imaginary wall? Again, this woman and a lot of women think that the wall is imaginary, that the wall is not a real thing. I'm sorry to tell you and break it to you, the wall is a real thing. It is. For starters, men must remember women are human beings with their own desires and goals. No one's arguing that. We all are human. We all have different personalities, whatnot. No one's arguing that. Respect their rights to decide for themselves with no one else's input. I'm going to come back to that. Each woman knows what her best interests are. I'm going to read that again. Each woman knows what her best interests are. Nobody else can decide for her. So, guys, if you're ranting about the wall, you need to mind your own business. Her recommendation is for men to mind their own business, for women like me to mind my own business, to not talk to women and say, hey, I've gone down this route. It's a destructive route that you're going on. Instead of going and making those same mistakes, why don't you learn from my mistakes? Women like this preach my truth all of the time. Okay. My truth absolves women of the truth and the reality. The reality is that the wall will always be there for every woman, and the wall is undefeated. Let's continue. She says, everyone needs to focus on what they want for their own lives. Maybe you don't want kids. Maybe you want to travel the world. Do you dream of finding the one? This it, this is one of the most exciting times in your life. Don't let anyone dampen your joy and with made up scary tales. Set your goals with laser focus, go after them, make sure you have fun too. Sometimes people will say things that hurt your feelings. I'm sorry, I don't want you to go out with I'm sorry, I don't want to go out with you. You're going to die alone, surrounded by cats. Whatever they say, don't get disheartened. Move on, work on being your best self, and so you can live your best life. You can't make this up. If you're looking for someone, self improvement maximizes your chances of finding them more than anything else can. Self improvement is far more productive than harboring ill will against someone. Most of all, never fear getting old. Hope you're lucky enough to grow old. Live your life, sis. Live your life, sis. Live your life. It's your truth. And this is why modern women end up alone because they don't want to accept reality. These women are going to tell other women to live your life. It's your life, sis. Live your truth. It's your truth. The problem with that is that if you look at their lives, most of them are single, most of them are miserable, and misery loves company. That is my video for today. If you guys liked it, please give it a big thumbs up. Subscribe down below if you haven't subscribed yet. I also have a memberships page open for you guys to check out. The links will be in the description below. I love you guys, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.